Hello, everybody. Welcome to Carlos Reactions. And this time we are going back to check the amazing Sophia Korz. And on a little side note, I want to point out that I have a reactor's dream come true. Sophia herself has seen my two reactions to her songs, and she's so kind with the comments, and it blows my mind to think about it. So I'm really thankful to her because what reactor doesn't dream that some of the artists he's experimenting or experiencing sees his reaction and has this kind of uh, uh I don't know what if call it relationship, but there is this interaction between artist and reactor. It's something that's one in a million, I think, and I'm so thankful. And I really love her work. Her lyrics are something else. If you've seen those reactions, you know the things I've said about those reactions. And this one is called Quarantine Thoughts. The name alone is got me intrigued. So let's dive into this one. Sophia Korz, Quarantine Talks in three, two, one, and go. This is a song that'll catch. Whoa, 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 whoa. Moment. YouTube, you're doing weird stuff. This is the song that'll cancel me. Riding on my luck again. What's new? And it's increasingly hard to speak when art isn't visceral, when we're safe in the trivial. Cause sad girls are on the internet and mental health is decorative, passing round the privilege of trying on aesthetics. And no one ever asks me why. I find it hard to pacify, but it's not so much compromise as kneeling to the critics. Ooh. It's not so much compromise as kneeling to the critics. Damn. She's right. In the modern day and age, we are so afraid to speak our minds, and we bow down to the consensus or the critics and try not to cross the line of what's permissible so we may not get canceled. And she said it in the first line, this is the song that will get me canceled. Hmm. I think I know where we are going here. Wow. Like I said, her lyrics are something to take into account. It's not just a beautiful voice. It's she has things to say, and I'm willing to listen. Much compromise is kneeling to the critics. I'm staring at these four walls, my visions. 2020 still stuck in 2020, where we pick and choose our favorite point of view. No good at taking risks unless they're definite. Scared to look out or venture outside of the box. Just me and my quarantine thoughts. My vision 2020 stuck in 2020. Yes, I got the feeling that this maybe she composed this around those days of the quarantine through COVID 2020. And I understand that as an artist, a creator, or a creative mind, it had to be hard to be stuck in four walls, especially if your art comes from the outside experiences and you get stuck with your quarantine talks. Such an interesting paradox because I don't know if I can make sense here, but she's using the restrictive line of thought that we all had in those days and make something that's really interesting, critiquing that very same thing.
This is the song that'll set me free. Keep thinking that's true every time I come up with a flashy new rhyme, but there's always that missing piece that reminds me I'm living a lie, all wrapped up in towing the line. Maybe if you only knew what played inside my mind on loop, you wouldn't be so quick to think I'm naturally authentic. But no one ever asks me why I find it hard to verbalize, or questions how self-censorship became an epidemic.
Self censorship became an epidemic. That's so true. In 2026, that's a real problem. Everywhere I look around, I see everyone speaking their mind gets labeled, gets censored, gets canceled. I hate the cancellation culture. We don't have the freedom of speech they boast about is the same thing that they censor when you are not okay with what they think and say, and you fall into this self-censorship. Oops, I may not say this because it will get me into trouble. And that's something true with many artists or many creators, and I've seen it. I've seen some artists change the way they perform or they sing or the way their lyrics are arranged or the way they express themselves because they are afraid of the cancellation culture and the critics and the self-censorship. That's harsh. That's really, really harsh.
Self-censorship became an epidemic. I'm staring at these four walls, my visions. 2020 still stuck in 2020, where we pick and choose our favorite point of view. No good at taking risks unless they're definite. Scared to look out or venture outside of the box. Just me and my quarantine thoughts. Me and my quarantine thoughts. I'm stuck in my quarantine thoughts. So stuck in my quarantine thoughts. I'm staring at these four walls, my visions. 2020 still stuck in 2020, where we pick and choose our favorite point of view. No good at taking risks unless they're definite. Scared to look out or venture outside of the box. 'Cause devils that kill are still better than devils that talk. If you're scared to let go, you're like me when I'm stuck in my quarantine thoughts.
And the best thing in the video, this uh this was this was a hard one. I get it. uh I remember when the COVID quarantine started. I did have to go outside from time to time to get supplies and everything, but mostly inside four walls. And one of the things I do remember is the amount of nonsensical things I was thinking to myself. And one of the things that kept me grounded was drawing. I I actually got way better with my drawing and my coloring because I made at least one drawing every day just to keep my sanity. Uh, I didn't have my guitar at that time, so I couldn't play the guitar for about a year and a half. So what kept me grounded mentally was the drawing and of course reading, but most of the content was through devices, the news, the media explosion in those days, and the amount of people that didn't make it through the quarantine because uh, they couldn't handle the stress of being behind four walls, and that's a serious topic. And of course he addressed it here, and she would takes it beyond because she's talking about the self-censorship, the cancellation culture, the no 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 don't do this because it's not what they want, the compromise of the art, uh, and the fact that we are inside a bubble. Even even myself, I'm sitting inside my own bubble here talking to you, and you are in your location with your device, whatever you are using. Those are bubbles, and those are bubbles we are, for better or worse, we are into them, into those things. So this one really struck a chord because I agree with everything she says here. And yes, the quarantine thoughts are hard, are really really hard, but uh well, that's the lyric. Music wise, it's a lovely song. Her voice is beautiful, like always. I really love the tone of her voice. Her timbre is so resonant, and the fact that she's singing this makes the song in at the same time more beautiful and at the same time more eerie in the message because it's a beautiful voice singing this hard stuff, and that's great. Kudos to you, Sophia, because you are a great artist and a great performer, and I can't wait for the next one I will hear. But this one I will wrap it up here. If you make it this far into the video, thank you so much. Please share, like, subscribe. Leave me in the comments what do you think of the song and what do you think of the lyrics. Do you agree, or do you think this is a little off the line or off the box? Let me know, please. And remember, if you want to make a special request, you can buy me a coffee. The link is down there in the description, or if you want to support the channel. Until the next time, please be safe and goodbye.